Hello everyone and a massive welcome to the channel. For today's video I am going to be sharing my thoughts on the Toniebox. This is our Toniebox, as you guys can see. It's in the colour pink and it is nice and soft and squishy. So we're going to just dive right in. So what is the Toniebox, you might be asking if you've never heard of it before? Well, the Toniebox is this box and you can basically buy figures for the box. There's tons and tons of different figures out there, and depending on what figure you place on top of your Toniebox, you can play different stories, whether that be for bedtime, whether that just be for through the day. There's Tony figures for nighttime that have night lights on them. There's literally tons and tons of different ones, and it's very simple and easy to operate. I'm just going to show you now. To turn the Toniebox on, you just hold this ear down here for about 3 seconds. I'm not going to do it because I've already turned the Toniebox on prior to starting this video. And basically, let's just take this for example. This is the Bing Tony figurine. You just plonk it on top of there and it will start playing. And if your child is fed up of it and doesn't want to listen to it anymore, they just take it off and it stops playing. Take this one that plays white noise, perfect for bedtime. And again, just take it off and it'll stop playing. It is so simple and easy to operate. Basically, these are your volume buttons here. So this is your volume up and this is your volume down. Here is your little headphone bit here to plug your headphones in. This is where you charge it from underneath the Toniebox. If you want to rewind or fast forward, you just tilt the Toniebox. And if you want to skip a whole chapter, you just not whack it, but just tap the Toniebox on the side and it will then skip a chapter for you. Very simple to operate. Like I said, there's only those 2 buttons there really for the volume. So literally very young kids can operate the Toniebox. In terms of setting up the Toniebox, it was actually very easy for me. Setup I think literally took about 5 minutes or a bit longer than 5 minutes. It wasn't very long. It was very simple. The instructions were very clear. You can either register your Toniebox through the Tony app, or you can register it online on the website. But I would definitely recommend downloading the app. It's free to download and there's definitely lots of really cool features which we'll talk about in just a moment with you. We purchased one of the Toniebox bundles that you can buy, which we ordered from the official Tony's website. Included in our bundle was the Toniebox itself in the colour pink, a creative Tony in the same colour as the box, and I'll go into more detail about what a creative Tony is in just a moment. Included in the box was also a charger, some information booklets and 7 Tonys. What's good about the bundle that we chose is that you can actually pick which Tonys you want included. We picked out a Tony that plays white noise, lullaby melodies with Sleepy Sheep, bedtime stories with Sleepy Bear, Paddington, Bing, Peppa Pig's bedtime stories, and Gabby's dollhouse. We also picked up a protective topper for the top of the Toniebox, just to prevent any scratches to the top of the box. In terms of pricing, just Toniebox with the creative Tony with the charger is £80, I believe it is. And then each Tony figurine, they usually cost about £15, but you can also get more expensive ones. Like for example, we also have a nightlight one, and that cost like £35. So most of them do cost about the £15 mark, but you can also get ones that do cost that little bit more. So as I mentioned, you can get several different figurines that go on top of the box and play many different lullabies, music, stories, whatever. You can also get these, which are called creative Tonys, and you can buy these on their website, but every time that you actually order a Toniebox, each Toniebox comes with one of these creative Tonys just included, which is very cool. And these creative Tonys are absolutely awesome because you can basically, through the Tony app, you can record messages and upload them onto your Tony. so that when your child puts a certain creative Tony on the box, your message will play. So for example, you can just record a really sweet, lovely message for your child like I did. You can also record yourself reading bedtime stories for your child. Or also what you can do with these creative Tonys is you can upload free stuff from the app, free music, free lullabies, free stories onto these, and you can then use them like you would a regular figurine. Let's move on to talk about the Tony app next, which I have done a screen recording for you guys. This is a screen recording of the Toniebox app. It's called My Tonys. This app is actually very cool. You have quite a few useful functions here. You have the shop here just to purchase Tonys or any more Tony boxes or anything else that you want to purchase from the Tony website. There's also tons and tons of free content that you're able to upload onto your creative Tonys if you want to. There's a section all about your recordings. Here you can actually create new recordings or manage current recordings for your creative Tonys. At the time I did this screen recording, I didn't have any recordings, but I have since done some recordings and it's actually super easy. Finally, you have this section which is called Mine. Here you can view all of your Tonys, and if you actually click onto the Tonys themselves, you'll be able to see their runtime and any chapters that that specific Tony has, if they have any, of course. And you can also have access to settings on the actual Toniebox itself. You can do things like change the maximum volume on both the Toniebox and Toniebox headphones, which, as you can see, I have done here. You can also change the LED light on the top of the Toniebox. You can either have it on, off, or dimmed. You can also change the advanced settings, such as the tilt and tap function. I currently have that switched off at the moment. I love this sort of stuff because it does give you some parental control, but also at the same time, it gives your child some independence. Now, on their website and basically anywhere that sells Tonys, you will see that the recommended age for Tonys is 3+ and the Toniebox as well is 3+. Although they have recommended that it's for 3 and up, I would say that there are certain Tonys, certain figurines that you can get, especially the nighttime ones, that you could probably get away with giving to a younger child. Make sure on a nighttime, if you're using it through the night, the Toniebox is up on a height somewhere where they can't reach. But I do think that there are, particularly the bedtime ones, that are also suitable for younger than 3-year-old. Hi everyone, Editing Danielle here. So I just want to clarify a couple of things. Firstly, I would not personally give a Toniebox to a child younger than 2 years old. Obviously, just bear in mind that if you are going to give to a child who's younger than 3, obviously you are kind of going against the guidelines of the product. So just bear that in mind. But personally, for me, I see no harm in using the Toniebox for someone younger than 3 on a night time and just putting it up high in a safe place where they can't reach it, letting it do its thing and helping them settle off to sleep. In terms of a maximum age, I don't really feel like there is like a maximum age for the Toniebox, but I would probably say between the ages of maybe 7 and 8, your child may begin to outgrow the Toniebox. But like I said, there isn't really a maximum age for the Toniebox. Anyone can enjoy it. Let's talk about my overall thoughts on the Toniebox. I love this. And to be honest with you guys, if there was things like this when I was a kid, I would have loved this. I think it's brilliant for kids learning like independent play. But also at the same time, you kind of have some parental control in terms of like what you can do through the app, changing the Toniebox settings and things like that. The app itself is great. It has lots of features on it, so much free content. I think it's brilliant. And also it's really handy that you can just use the app for everything. You can set the Toniebox up through the app, you can shop through the app, you can do your creative Tony recordings through the app, you can do everything through the app. It's brilliant. The box itself is very, very nice and soft. It's very, very child friendly to use. Setup was very, very easy. I did read some reviews where they were like, I found it hard, but personally for me, I found setting up very easy. I found the instructions very, very simple and easy to follow. My daughter was very, very excited and curious about it. It's obviously something that your child can read along with. For example, if your child is listening to the Gruffalo figurine through their Toniebox, they can also, if they have the Gruffalo book, read along, follow the words. I love the fact that the Toniebox is very, very hands-on. And yeah, I just have lots of just positive things to say about it. I was actually really pleasantly surprised with this product. So that is my review of the Toniebox. Have you ever used the Toniebox? What are your thoughts on it? Let me know in the comments section down below. Thank you so, so much for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, leave it a thumbs up. If you're new here, go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Thank you so, so much once again. And I very much hope to see you in my next video. Bye everyone.